I want to talk to you today about that one rep difference. So what do I mean by that? I was listening to a video earlier on today, and there was a good story about essentially the difference between, shall we say, top spot and second place. And if you look at the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, top sports, top businesses, generally the difference between first place and second place is tiny. And I know for me, for a long time, I had looked at people who were, shall we say, the best in the world at whatever it is they're doing. I had looked at those and kind of said, wow, they're so far away from where I was. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, they had something that I don't. But one of the things I've realised now is that, like, if you look at, shall we say, those top people in the world, like, I don't know, gymnastics, right? You look at that in the Olympics, and you see the difference between the person who wins that and the person who comes second is probably like 0.01 or less. You know, like when you get the person who gets the perfect 10, the person who comes in behind them are like 9.99. And then essentially that's a tiny fraction of a difference between the person who comes first and the person who comes second. And that when I talk about the one rep, you know, are you willing to do that one rep? What I'm bringing it back to is just that for a lot of people who are working out or trying to get somewhere in business, the person who gets farther is the person who does more work. They stick at it longer. They do the extra mile. So that could be one extra push-up. That could be one extra mile that you go for a walk or run in. That could be 1 extra hour or 10 extra minutes or 1 extra minute that you put into that business proposal or into studying or 1 extra blog post or 1 extra video you did. But I think there's this misconception out there that the person who's doing really well is so far away from you. Now granted, if you look at, you know, people who are top of the world in football and your average Sunday football league, there's a big difference there. But if you look at the people who are playing at that top level and the difference between, shall we say, the player of the year and anybody else in that league is very small because they're all there at that top level. So that was kind of one of the things that really hit home for me today, was just that if you look at horse racing, most races are won by a nose. So that means the person that comes in first and the person that comes in second, there's that tiny gap. Now, that's what we're looking for here, is essentially that if you don't necessarily need to be the first, the best. I'm not saying you can't be, but I'm saying you don't necessarily need to be there. All you need to do is raise yourself from where you are up above to a certain level, because what happens when you hit that certain level is most other people will have given up or dropped off. And then once you hit that level, then you become in that top percentage in the world, and then you can start taking it to a new level. So the reason I'm saying that is because for a lot of us it's, how do I get there? And there seems so far away. But I'm here saying to you now that it's not actually that far. And then if you keep doing the work, obviously you need to be doing the work with the goal in mind. I said, how do I get there? And if that's 100 blog posts, then you just need to keep going. But then essentially it's like, if you can do the extra bit, and the extra bit is every day. So it's that blog post you didn't want to write, those extra 10 minutes you didn't want to do, that extra half an hour you had to stay at work, whatever it is that if you can concentrate on actually doing that, and knowing that that's going to get you where you want to go, then you don't see it as, oh, I could be watching TV or I could be at home with my family. Then it becomes something different. It becomes, if I do this over a sustained period of time, then I could change my life, the quality of my life and the quality of the people around me's lives. That's exciting. So get out there and do that extra little bit today, because that will pay off for you.